Hello and welcome back to NTD Asia Talk. With us in the studio is Leeshai and Vina from Shen Yun Performing Arts. So tell me more about the techniques of traditional Chinese dance, because that's really what brings out performances, the stories behind each performance.
Well, the classical Chinese dance has very formal and serious systematic training with the bar exercises, center exercises, and jumps, and also have tumbling and turns, all this stuff. Lots of people have seen like things from gymnastic and acrobats. They thought, oh, okay, this high technique is from those, from gymnastics, from acrobats, but actually it came from Chinese classical dance. Yeah.
It's a system with thousands of years of history, and the training is extremely complex. We get to see the dancers work between shows and during the off season, and they work extremely hard. Other than the complete training in the fundamentals of dance, you also have training in really specific body movements and rhythms and postures that are unique to classical Chinese dance. And that's what brings out this kind of flavor, this internal feeling that Vina was talking about. It's something that they train to produce. To be able to connect these kinds of emotions with the body movements, very unique body movements.
Can you give me an example of one body movement that you would train for?
It's always like with lots of combination, with like a rounded and turn and pull up one side, and it's like not like just like line, because the ballet has beautiful pose and lines with like attitude and arabesque, all this stuff, but Chinese classical dance has always with turn and goes that kind of combination, and with lifting and the body. It's a culture, as in blending with if a person like a Western person and Chinese person never learned dance before and would learn Chinese dance, it's very different. And raise the hands and move the foot, and it's very different.
Is it something that you have to train for when you're very young?
Yes, but also carry on, I think it's from the genes, actually, yes. And also a lot of young dancers, because they brought up in Western culture, Western society, so they have to learn the Chinese culture at the same time to understand the looking, the way to smile is very different as well, because from the Western culture, it's very used to directly approach to the person. The Chinese is always very shy and look the person and feel the person first before your eyes go to actually looking, to someone.
It's part of the culture.
Yeah, so this kind of moment is the body movement, it's the body language. So when you put it bigger on stage, and that's how the movement came up from this. So it's a lot of things within it.
Does it change a person's lifestyle after you learn traditional Chinese dance? From what you're saying, how you're approaching someone, and that all changes after you learn dance, no?
Yes, actually, yes. Girls is more feminine. It's gentle and soft. But of course, it depends individual case, But in general, yes. And boys is getting more powerful and strong and warriors and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
One of the things that audience members often notice from the performers is the amount of energy that they have and how enthusiastic and happy and kind of shiny they are. And I think a lot of that comes from their kind of self-cultivation of their own personalities, their own spirits as they're perfecting their dance skills. So it's really a mind and body process for them. And when they come on stage, they really come with the mentality of, we're dancing for the audience. We're sharing this traditional Chinese culture with the audience. Very humble approach. It's amazing how humble these people are. And I think that's one of the things that really touches the audience. I mean, there's the flips and the amazing aerials and the music and all those things, but it's the spirit, I think, that is really inspiring and gives people a sense of hope.
You mentioned each performer actually brings to the stage something unique about themselves, but all the movements also need to be synchronized. So how does that come together?
Actually, for the dancers, of course the choreography will have the movement at the same time, especially lots of like group dance. But somehow, because everyone sense and feeling the cultures in different levels and different angles, so the girls on stage, that's how I got a lot of feedback as well from the audience to say they smile differently. and the way they smile is more from their heart. They can, touching people's heart, because everyone, say for instance, if you sense the smell of the flower, everyone's different, the reaction is different. So that's how our performers, when they smile and they feel, what they're going to present is differently. So we don't have say, this is a kind of smile. So everyone has different expression. But meanwhile, they dance together. So it's it is very unique compared to most of the, shows we've seen before. And this is kind of like they dance together, but at the same time, you can tell the individual dancers bring something different on stage. It's very unique.
We have actually 3 companies that tour around the world at the same time. And so it's very rare for the same company to be at the same city 2 years in a row. So if you come to the show year after year, you get to see different dancers who bring their own personalities, their own set of skills. And it's a very different show. The whole show is actually different each year.
When you go to the different cities, is the response different when you have the different companies go?
Well, it's really an adventure wherever we go, because we go to different theaters and we work with different crews there, and we have a different audience, and sometimes we have to deal with different languages. So we will always have somebody, one of the 2 MCs will speak the local language. And what is amazing to me is, in spite of the cultural differences between performing, say, in Paris and in New York and in Tokyo, or Birmingham, Alabama, or all these other cities we go to, people really, they have a very positive response to the show as a whole and to specific parts of it that are very much consistent. And the excitement that we get from the audience still carries their cultural traditions. For example, some people might be more conservative and they will wait until the very end of the show to express their appreciation. Others, they will clap at any point that they like. But overall, it's amazing how similar, in spite of the differences, we are around the world.
So hold that thought. We'll be back right after this break.
It was very outstanding. It just blew all expectations. It was gorgeous. It was dramatic, and also had a very deep, meaningful message that the audience could take away with.
It was divine. I call it a celestial experience on earth.
Music live, and really to see the performance, it's nothing like it. So I am so appreciative that you all are here and have brought this to the city.
The technique and the skill and the acrobatics and the costume and the 5,000 years of history, it just makes me feel so proud and enlightened. So I definitely want to go back and learn more about Chinese culture after seeing this performance.
We come back and we'll bring a lot of friends with us.
People with us, because this is too good to pass up.